New episode of Damn, That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue with Randy, Junior, and Ed. Let's get this party started. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 75 of all new Damn, That's Good with Big Salinas Barbecue. I'm Randy, of course, joined by Junior and Ed. We got a good, fun episode for you. Without further ado, let's get this party started.
Hey, how's it going? I don't even know if you can hear me. But if you can, one
Yeah, we
second.
can hear you.
Okay. So just as we go through it, we went through last year, just kind of getting ready, talking about the Royal. At the end of it, and then just kind of going over the results of how we felt. But since then, it has been Thanksgiving has come and gone. So let's just dive right into it. What you got, guys?
Yeah. How was that
You
home
stay.
cooked Josh and Mom's meal, Ed? Because we know that's what you.
Josh and Mom, man,
You know you be crazy white boy stuff.
I know I'm white, but my family's not that white, bro. No, it
Potato
was,
salad, half.
ours was good. Amanda and I always make the long haul back to Kansas City again, for her family, and everything went great. We had a couple of turkeys this year. My brother-in-law did, him and his fiance did a brine, and then they did the actual stuffing in the bird, whereas mine was just kind of a backup bird, um, for everybody to make sure they had Thanksgiving leftovers that they could take. Um, Other than that, though, minus the 8-hour drive there and home, Thanksgiving was
Mm.
great. I got no complaints. I know how much you
How
guys
was
love
that
that drive.
construction? Was the construction
Yeah.
better? Worse?
Uh, there was no sign hanging out in the middle of the road, so that's good. Um, but other than that, I don't think anything ever actually changed on 35. If I'm being honest,
It's 35. Nothing ever
Yeah.
changes.
you got to
They're
treat
always
yourself
doing
like
construction
I-35.
work.
Always be working on yourself.
Always.
Yeah. They've been working on that section right there coming into from Ardmore to Norman since Victoria was going to school. And that's what, almost 5 years ago now?
About
Um,
4 or 5 years
so
ago,
they've
yeah.
been always working on it. They're getting kind of worse than Texas over here. We're always kind of working on something. Never seem to fix it. But
That ain't no joke.
your turkey, did you fry it, smoke it? What y'all have?
No, we did have a roaster that I picked up this year because we already
Roaster?
had the one turkey in the oven, so I had mine in just a regular old roaster, nothing
Old
fancy,
school.
old school.
Nothing fancy.
Nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
Nothing wrong with that at
Uh,
all.
It got the job done. That's all that needs.
That's it.
oh yeah, oh
I
yeah. What
know.
about you, Jenna? What did
Uh,
Chelsea's family have?
they had their fried turkey, which Rob does it. He seasoned it. I don't know if I forgot to ask if he brined it or not. No, I know he injected it. I'm sorry, he didn't brine it. He injected it. But the seasoning he used on the outside was Slap Your Mama. Uh, their rub that he used on it, seasoning on it, came out really good, really juicy and moist. Even by the time I got there to eat it, so was overall thought pretty good as far as fried turkey. That you can get. So I thought it was pretty good. But he usually does really good at those fried turkeys, believe it or not. And then I know you, Randy, you cooked a lot of turkeys for customers and home. What did you think about your turkeys
I thought they all come out good.
and why?
We cooked. So I ended up cooking three briskets, um, Texas Twinkies for someone. So I cooked over like 30 of them, I think. Some for us. Um, Smoked a turkey. Did a For us. We did a smoked turkey breast, and then did a fried turkey for us, and then I fried six turkeys, and then also did two hams. So I was busy Wednesday and Thursday cooking. Got 2 hours of sleep. But I thought everything come out delicious. I know everyone enjoyed this turkey that Leslie didn't try because she apparently anything smoked nowadays gets her sick. Um, First
Mm.
time I've heard that in a while, but whatever. But everything was real good. We enjoyed it. Um, Everything was delicious. I mean, on point. Um, yeah, we got all the sides we wanted. You know, our green bean casserole, mashed potatoes. Uh, Trying to think of stuffing. I think that was it. Yeah, and of course we had a
Mashed
hen, turkey breast,
potatoes.
fried turkey. Um,
Yep,
yeah, then we had
about
a
it.
lot
I
of
think
dessert.
that's about it.
I don't know,
So
a
with
lot of.
with y'all, is it
One thing about
dressing or is it stuffing?
So what?
we call it stuffing.
I heard two.
I call it stuffing.
Yeah, stuffing, stuffing,
I think I've always called it stuffing, but in the past few years I've moved to calling it dressing.
stuffing. You're gonna be part of this podcast. It's stuffing.
Yeah,
Stuffing on
yeah,
this
it's the same thing.
podcast. I mean,
It really is. It's all the same. The sides are really good. As always, I always load it up on there, and then I think they had some brown gravy that she put on there, and I sprinkle it on everything, and just because that's what I like to do. Had me a couple plates there because I knew I probably was just going to eat the turkey when we got to the in-laws' house, and that's exactly what I did. So definitely stuffed myself uh, there at our house. But I thought it was really good. All the sides and the turkeys were really good. The smoked turkey was awesome. Uh, I thought it was hands down. I mean, if I was like, I think I even made the comment, I wish you would have turned this smoked turkey at the Royal, but
Yeah,
what
this
can you
this
say?
this turkey breast was way better than the royal, but I think it's because it had like smoke flavor from the pecan wood that kind of help it
Yeah,
out. That's I mean,
but I
so I
think
mean
that
the
also
bark
comes
was really
down to probably
good.
time, right? Like you
Yeah,
had more focus on the turkey than you would on the other meats that we have for the royal.
correct,
yeah,
correct, correct. And
yeah,
that's what people forget is it's easy when you're cooking one thing. You can
Yeah,
focus in on that as opposed to I got to cook the turkey, the pork, the ribs, the brisket, this and chicken, and you're going boom, 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 and then I got to get it boxed up, and then I got to do this, and then it's a lot to have to worry about.
yeah.
totally.
But yeah, there was when I left, there was only like a couple pieces of that smoked turkey breast. Like it was literally was gone. And I know he got a pretty good size one, but it was pretty much gone by the time we left at halftime of the game.
Yeah, it was about 5 pounds or so.
Yeah,
Because I had bought it to try it before we went, and then I decided, you know what, we'll just kind of go with it. So I just left it in the freezer, and it's like we'll use it eventually. So I cooked it up for that because I mean they were getting expensive. Because you know some meats for Thanksgiving gets expensive. Um, so definitely, I was definitely come out turned out better than I expected. But yeah, it was all gone the next day. I think there was like one slice maybe that we ate probably yesterday or the day before. Um, so, but
There
yeah.
you go.
Uh, so what y'all's favorite? What y'all's go to side for Thanksgiving?
ooh,
That one side that you got to have on the plate. Ed.
You know, I think I don't know if it's Thanksgiving if you don't have mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I think you got to have mashed potatoes. My secret with mashed potatoes, not really a secret. Uh, don't use water. Don't use water, people. Use chicken broth. Chicken broth. Way better. Way better. Just
Huh.
saying.
Okay.
Keep that flavor
I'll
in
have to
them.
try that out. Yeah,
Hmm.
It's worth it.
keep the flavor
It's worth it. It's at least
from
worth a
the
try.
potato skin. Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's worth a shot, a try. Go to side. For me, I think I only usually get it right around Thanksgiving, Christmas time, and that's going to be green bean casserole. The green bean, but it's got to have the little onions on top. If it doesn't have that, the little
Yeah.
French onion things,
Yeah.
then you're I don't want it. If it's got to have those on top, and that's I think that's my go-to. You can have mashed potatoes all year round. That one usually is real big this time of year, so it's usually my go-to. Randall.
Mine will probably be the stuffing. Usually I get like two or three scoops of it, especially the next day. That's my go-to. So that's probably the first one I'm going to grab or scoop and put it on my plate is the stuffing, dressing, whatever you want to call it. Um, and then of course dessert uh, probably would be pecan pie. Um, but this year I went with the fruit salad that our mom made. So fruit salad first, and end of the night with a good big slice of pecan pie. Um, I was really kind of hoping someone would bring the pumpkin pie so I can have the pumpkin pie, but he decided he wanted to leave it at the house. Um, what about you, Ed? What's that? What's your dessert that you gotta
So
have?
we have a family tradition with Amanda that Amanda makes a chocolate pie is what it's deemed in our family. Some family
Okay.
members will debate and call it chocolate dessert. It's basically a chocolate silk pie, like a pudding pie, if you will. Um, who doesn't like chocolate pie? It's
Yeah,
like a melted s'more is what it tastes like. It's great. Has whipped
that's what.
cream on it, chocolate chips. If it it's not
Yeah,
Thanksgiving without it.
yeah. So Leslie
True,
actually made
true.
that for Mason, so we had that this
Nice,
year.
nice.
And of
Did
course,
he
we don't need
eat
it as
any of
Junior's.
it though?
Junior's is pumpkin pie. I didn't know. Yeah, he ate. He had a good portion of that chocolate pie.
Well, I left the
And then
pumpkin pie, and let me explain myself. I left it at the house because I was like, I don't know if they're going to have any there. So I wanted more than one slice, and I didn't want to have to lug half of it apart to Chelsea's families to there. So I didn't know if they were going to have pumpkin pie over there because they sometimes don't. But they did this year. So yeah, I felt a little bad not taking it, but just a little bit.
Don't lie. No, you don't.
I'm eating the whole thing here, so it doesn't matter.
that's why
You're
he
just sitting
left
on the
it.
couch with a spoon.
Yeah, the next
That's
day
You just kick back.
saying, Chelsea, my
gotta have the
diabetes
Cool
is
Whip
sky
on it
high.
though.
My blood sugar is high. I wonder why.
Sky high.
Huh.
Gotta have the Cool Whip on it though.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's you're right. That's my
That's just
go-to.
that's the go-to. And then I know Ed wanted to dive into the topic of brine versus no brine or injection on turkeys. I think we've talked about it in the past. They usually come pre-brined, um, unless you buy those naturals where there's nothing in there. Um, this year I didn't brine them. I just injected them with some of that Creole butter, and then I hit them with Tony Chachere's, and then uh, when I ran out of that, I used Stale Crackers one. I don't remember what the name of it
Oh,
is.
that two-step.
Yeah,
The two step.
I used that to fry it, and then of course to smoke it. Um, but now I did brine the turkey just like I usually do. So that is definitely one that I would recommend brining or injecting or both is the turkey breast. But for turkeys, you can I would say it doesn't really matter. If you want to add more flavor, definitely go with the brine. If not, worst case scenario is inject it with something. Just kind of add some more flavor and make sure if you're going to be deep frying it that is completely thawed out. What about you? What's y'all's opinion? Brining, no brining, injection?
I'm kind of with you, Randy. If most of the big name brands that are out there that you're getting on the discount at Thanksgiving, Christmas, this time of year in general, I think most of them all come pre-brined. So it's kind of one of those like, if you're going to do a long cook, I know some people like to do the long roast in the oven. If you're going to do that, then I would say, yeah, for sure, brine it. But if you're somebody who's doing a deep fry or kind of a smoke, I'm not really sure that it's necessary.
To do it. Yep.
Agreed. I think I know over there they did. He injected it and stuff, but yeah, if you're gonna fry it, for sure, just inject it, get it ready. Make sure Again, you're right. It's thawed out, and go from there. But I don't think you can necessarily go wrong. But I mean, I've seen people do it, and they brag on it on the social medias that they did a 72-hour brine and this and that. It's like,
That's
how
too
long?
much.
How much are you really getting after that amount? As opposed to a 12-hour or an overnight brine or whatever. I don't think it's gonna, just because you let it sit for 2 or 3 days, is not gonna be, oh, it's gonna be the juiciest one ever. I think it's gonna be about the same personally. But yeah, if you're gonna inject it and you want to kind of inject it, deep fry it, there you go. You're all good.
Yep.
So
I think there's a point of diminishing return too with the brine, right? Like if you over brine, then that's all you taste is the brine, and you're not even
Yep.
getting any of the seasoning. So what's the point? But if
And
that's what you
sometimes
and
you
your
can,
family are into, then go for it.
yeah. And sometimes those brines they got a lot of salt in them.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can over salt it, especially if you're adding a rub that has this main ingredient. First one or two ingredients is salt.
yep.
You don't want to over salt it because then it just kind of makes it taste bad. Um, so definitely do have to be careful. But you can always throw in, like telling the buddy, you can throw in some oranges, rosemary, thyme, something kind of balance everything out to get that unique flavor in there. But definitely, I would recommend at least 12 hours to 24 hours if you can on a brine. Um, but hey, go for it. But I mean, I don't wouldn't recommend going 48 hours, 72 hours like we've seen on some TikToks. No, it's a little bit too much.
Yeah,
Um,
like I saw one that was 72-hour. I'm going on a 72-hour brine,
yeah, no,
and then he put
you
a certain O's on it too. So
yeah,
that
you
should
have
tell
to
you.
be really careful with that meat from spoiling. So that wherever it is, it has to be real, real cold to kind of keep those temperatures in the safe zone.
Yeah,
Because with chicken and turkey, the time is limited that you can leave it in there before it
correct.
starts going bad. Um, I was gonna say something else and I forgot. Well, what you got to add to it? What else y'all want to talk before?
Sticking on to the turkeys and the deep frying, because you're the deep frying, you've done it more. What question? Let me ask you this: what did you fry it in? What kind of oil did you use?
I use this frying oil. Um, literally what it's called from Sam's. I think it's $25 for 35 pounds. Um, yeah, it's literally called frying oil because I mean peanut oil 35 pounds is 60 $70, and why buy that if I'm gonna have to buy two things of it in order to have enough? I'll pay you know $25, so I'll buy two for the price of one almost. Um, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Definitely, if you want more flavor, use peanut oil if you have the money. But I would recommend just going with an oil that has a high smoke point. I think the frying oil is like 450. Um, so you're not going to get close to that, so you don't have to worry about it. Um,
I mean, you shouldn't be getting close to it, but
yeah, you shouldn't unless something just goes south. Um, But yeah, I mean, I think I cooked at 350 the whole time. And I read them two at a time on Thursday in the morning. So I only had to cook four that day. Yeah, so I cooked four that day. So basically, got it hot, um, put two in, and then when those two come off, I switched them out and dropped two more in there. Definitely, highly recommend going with, if you're going to cook multiple ones, going two different air fryers on there. But making sure you get it up to at least 165. You are going to get some carryover. I know I saw someone on TikTok saying, "Oh, you just have to cook it to 150 and you're fine." No,
No,
you're going to
don't
get
be that guy,
carryover.
guys. Don't be
Yeah,
that guy.
you're not gonna get 15 degrees carryover. It's going to be 5 to 10.
I
Um,
mean, most people who are frying a turkey outside of somebody who's ordering it from catering, right? Isn't the objective when frying a turkey to fry the turkey and then almost immediately thereafter rest
yep.
and then carve for the family? Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't be there shouldn't be a lot of time for that carryover heat. So
Uh,
make sure you get it to that 165. Don't
yeah.
get your family sick because you thought there was going to be a longer carryover.
Yeah. Yep.
I could see
Definitely.
pulling it from an oven or a roaster a little bit early with some carryover for a rest,
Yeah.
but even then, I'm not giving it 10, 15 degrees. I'm giving it like 5.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think I pulled them. The last two I cooked, I didn't really need to probe them because, I mean, I knew it was hot enough. I mean, I still probed them just to see, and they were right over 165, 170. Um, I mean, and they come out juicy. Um, so, especially with the one that we had, and I reheated it. The turkey breast, I cooked it in, let it cool off a little bit, and then we stuck it in the refrigerator and then heated back up. Kind of the same method we did for the royal. Cook it, place it, butter on the bottom, wrap it in the foil, let it cool off, and then use the juice from the butter and the natural juices to kind of flavor it back up. But it didn't. I mean, it was juicy. Um, so definitely making sure you cook whatever you're cooking, you cook it to the temperature that you need it to go. Something I do recommend if you're cooking like a brisket or something, and you don't have a warmer or cooler, stick it in the oven. Um, those three briskets I put in one big pan. Those big full size deep pans. I use for catering, so I put all three of them there. Let them cool off for a couple hours, and I stuck them in the warmer or in the oven for at warm at 170 for like 14 hours, and they were still juicy the next day. And those the customers that had them loved it. So definitely do that if you don't have a warmer or you don't want to put it in a cooler. You don't have to worry about it. Um, yeah. What else y'all want to talk about
I'd say
Thanksgiving wise?
going along that same line with the tip with your oven, if you have a big enough cooler, throw some towels in a throw some, if you have some old clean, towels, throw them in
All
your
dry clothes. Yeah.
throw them in the dryer for a little bit, get them nice and hot, and put them
Yeah.
in your regular cooler, and make sure you wrap up whatever you're putting in there, but it'll hold that temp too. It'll do the same thing. So yeah, if you have a
Yeah.
cooler, definitely worth it.
You can put them in, soak them in hot water,
Yep,
and then put them in there.
yep.
That'll work too. But yeah.
That's all I got. That was cute because we had the. I think Chelsea's dad made it. He cooked his with peanut oil, and you could taste a little difference in it from it. But it's easy, like you said, to do one and get exactly kind of how much you need, and you can splurge on it a little bit. But when I think like you're right, doing orders like you did and your own for your house. Probably best that you just get something a little bit more cost effective, unless you, like you said, unless you want to do that and upcharge your customers. That's up to you. You do you at the end of the day because you're paying the money. But yeah, you could
Yep.
definitely. That's what I was going with, and you kind of took it as you would taste a little bit of a difference. I know we started using the other stuff due to Mason and his allergy. The first time we did it, he had a peanut allergy that I think finally is not as bad anymore. So that kind of forced our hand into what we had to cook with.
Yeah, and sometimes it kind of just you don't have to worry about it or ask. Hey, is anyone allergic to peanut oil? Is anyone allergic to this?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about asking it because you know there's nothing in there.
I don't
Um,
think the average person is going to be able to taste a major difference in it.
uh,
Um, if I'm being honest, like whenever you go to a different fast food restaurant or a different chicken place, most people can't tell a difference in
what
what
they
oil is
use.
being
Yep.
used.
And most of the time they're using just regular frying oil because
Yeah.
it's cheaper for them. You got to keep the cost down. Like Junior said, if you're depending on what you're doing, if you're cooking it for just a family, yeah, um, definitely go into peanut oil.
Yeah,
Um,
special occasion,
but
splurge a little bit if you can. Go for it.
yeah, um, so definitely there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying if you want to save some money,
Yeah.
um, that's the way to go. Get some frying oil, or get any kind of oil that has a high smoke temperature, at least 450. Just kind of be on the safe side, but you're not going to need it. If you worry about getting there, you shouldn't get close to that smoke temperature unless you're just you want it to go hot and fast on there.
You trying to go real fast.
Yeah,
Fast, you trying to cook this thing?
yeah. But before we dive into Christmas, we did have a question several weeks back that did not answer on the last episode or the one before. So we're gonna ask. This comes from John Gonzalez from Eight Ball Cookers. He wants to know what keeps y'all motivated and what do y'all do when you don't feel motivated. He says, I think every cook has been there and done that. So basically, first part is what keeps you motivated. Ed, you want to go first? Junior, you want to go first?
Um, for me, I mean, I guess at a cook off, if we're at a cook off, I answered a couple of if at a cook off, then or you're signed up for one. I think it's the thrill of it. I think we don't do one every weekend, so we don't have that necessarily thing of oh man, we're doing another one. We're doing another. So we don't get burnt out on it. We kind of get excited that we're back doing what we do, and we know we're going to hang out and have some fun. If anything else, if we don't place, we're gonna have some fun regardless,
Yep.
um, and stuff. So I think that keeps us motivated on it. It's just kind of use it as an escape from whatever. Now, if I'm cooking outside, just grilling in the backyard, for me, what kind of does it is just to get, like I said, I love to get out there, start it, get out there while it's firing up, light up a cigar, and use that time to just kind of be with myself and be with my thoughts, clear my head. But I just enjoy cooking for my family. And but like I said, for me, I don't do it all the time. So I think I manage the way it is. But when I do it, I'm definitely motivated to cook for them and make sure that what they're eating is good.
What
That's
about you, Junior? I mean, Ed.
I
it.
just answered.
He said. He
Don't
said.
just
No. Answer it again.
come.
Um, the motivation for cooking kind of varies because I think everybody goes through it. Like John said, it's one of those. There's going to be times that you don't feel like cooking. I think that's when you kind of take a step back from what what your normal everyday cook is, and that's when you try to mix in something new, right? Like
Yeah.
for me, getting into like uh, Asian cuisines or Middle Eastern cuisines, trying something different, I think really kind of is the spice of life. So that kind of keeps that motivation going, where you can kind of integrate some of those flavors into your regular everyday cook. So I think you know not only just cooking, but exploring other options that you're not typically used to. Keep it interesting, if you will.
Think that's great.
Good answer. Good answer.
It's a
Yeah,
great. I mean, because you got to kind of keep it and spice it up. Try new things with it. Say, okay, hey, which will bring me to another question I'll have for you all later. But I think that's good. I mean, that's a good way to kind of stay motivated into cooking and saying, hey, I'm going to try this, or uh, hey, I'm going to try something that is my Achilles heel. Cooking, and I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try to master that
Yeah.
uh, aspect, or like you said, trying fish or something that you've never done before.
yep,
I mean, or even keep it in the same, like if you're somebody who always does barbecue, maybe you try baking, maybe you try dessert, maybe you get a different kind of, you latch onto something a little bit different for a little while, you know?
yeah. Trying to hold on a different skill set.
Yeah. Or, hell, try a different if you're somebody who always uses a drum, mix it up. Try a Weber,
Yep.
try something different from what you're used to.
Yeah, and that's where I benefit from because I have different cooking things I can use at the drum, the offset, the Weber. Um, you know, uh, I don't know what the other one is. What you would call it? It's kind of a little version of offset, but then you can also do
It's like a chimney.
direct, yeah. Um, you can put the coals on the bottom and cook right over it, like the direct heat type deal. Um, but yeah, definitely for motivation for me is just basically honing in on everything, trying to perfect. Um, you know, each barbecue, especially when it comes to competition. The motivation there is, honestly, is we're always chasing that first GC, and then once we get that first one, we're chasing that second one, and so on and so on. But that's the motivation each time we go out is we're going out there. I'm going out there to try to hear my name called at the end, but I'll settle for just having fun. Creating those memories uh, that we can, look back and say, "Hey, you remember this time? Remember that time? Remember this cook off?" Um,
Yeah.
so, when you're not feeling motivated, definitely, trying something new and trying to get into a comfort zone because sometimes cooking is the ultimate comfort. If you're having a bad day or a bad week or whatever, just go ahead and cook. That's where you can kind of, like Junior said, being your, you know, look at your thoughts and say, hey, reflect on, what's happening, what's going on, what you can get better at on as a person, as a cook. So definitely just got to kind of hone in on everything.
A great question. Definitely a good
Yeah.
question for sure. Yeah, no, I agree with all of those. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Use it as your motivation to get better, or just improve, or experiment. But like I said, yeah, but I think the key, you're right. Yeah, don't burn yourself out. Like, people
Mhm.
love to cook. I know people just love to do it every day, all day. And if
Yep.
that's you, great. If it's not, and you need a break, you need a break. But like I
Hey,
Yeah.
said, sometimes I use it as my escape from just the family for a little bit while I'm out there chilling. If I'm having a bad day, hey, let me go cook something, or like I said, and then while you're doing it, of course, like you're saying, then trying that something new, even if
Yeah.
you're master. Like, I think we talked about it last episode of cooking a steak, but trying to maybe let the blue cheese melt on it a little bit or something on there. So
Yep.
to try that stuff. So
I think the nice thing about especially the barbecue community is there's so many people that you can reach out to, and everybody's pretty open at talking and sharing ideas, sharing their experience, that sometimes just having that group of people around that you can kind of bounce ideas off of or that you can talk to
Yeah.
also keeps you motivated because you're like, all right, oh, they posted this, let me see if I can try something like that.
Yep.
So that's the nice thing I think that I've seen since I've kind of come on board with the barbecue community, is seeing that.
Yeah. Definitely, the barbecue community is great. Um, it does allow you to get ideas, kind of bounce ideas off of people, or if you just need someone to talk to. There's a lot of people out there that will just kind of sit there and listen or been through the same situations you've been through. Um, you just got to ask.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely good question, John. Keep those questions coming. What question did you have, Junior?
So we were talking, and he just is a perfect question going into it. I'm looking to experiment. Um, I've got some pork chops in there. Y'all said I need to diversify my cooking to where it's not just
Mm-hmm.
steaks. I wanted to do the pork chops kind of like ribs because Chelsea and Eden will tear down a rib. When you take a pork chop and it's a grilled pork chop, kind of throws it down. What do you think? Any tips of how you think I can master that with just using a boneless? It is boneless pork chop. Just season it like I would a rib, and obviously it's not going to take as long, but it's not going to take that long. It's still going to be kind of grilled and smoked. But I was kind of that was what I was going to bounce off. Is how do you think I could probably master that? And I may only try. It's a big pack. I think I got like 8 of them. I think I may try to grill 4 of them normal, so that way if I totally bomb the other 4, I have something to still eat.
Yep.
Hey,
um,
in our house we have a saying that there's always tacos. So
Yeah.
there's
may,
always
may
tacos
cook
if
the other
something
ones
goes
on the
wrong.
grill, on the stove or something. But what do you think? What do y'all think about that idea? Bueller.
Well, I mean, the go to thing if you want like pork style ribs would be like the country style ribs. Um, but if you have pork chops, you can always cut them into like 2 inch wide strips, um, and kind of season them and kind of cook them. However, you would normally a rib. Definitely not going to take that long because I mean, um, but you don't want to overcook them. So you're not shooting for that 200. You're just kind of shooting for that 160,
There's like
165 max.
yeah.
Um, I mean, there's so much you can do with it. You can sauce it. Um, you know,
I'd half tempted to say do some sort of like brine with apple juice or pear juice or something, kind of let them soak and get some of that flavor. Um, Going back to my thing with different cuisines, like vinegar and juice of fruit of some kind is always something that comes up in Asian cooking.
Yeah.
So maybe find a brine or something that you could do with, like I said, apple or pear always seems to pair really well with pork chops.
yeah,
Or hell, just have pork chops and applesauce. Be like a white person.
yeah.
Could brine them in and Dr. Pepper, right? Try Dr. Pepper pork chops.
Hey, I don't see anything
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Would you okay if I did do something like that? Would you lay them? Would you keep them kind of in their whole little state, or would you put like some foil down there so they don't fall through, or
Yeah, I'd probably boat them
that
with
way you can
a.
Yep.
still get some smoke, but then when I'm ready to
I mean,
kind of
and then I would say do them in a boat and then sear them off right at the end.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
leave them that whole kind of thing, and then right at the end, kind of like I would a steak, the reverse sear is kind of what
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
go-to is on that. We did do that. We did do some steaks for the Texas A&M game that I got to season, and I think they were the best steaks that Larry cooked
Hmm.
on his trigger. But I told him, hey, I'm seasoning these. Don't overcook them, and everybody ate them up. So. Uh, it's amazing what happens when you can season it and let it sit there for a little bit. I think me personally, when I do a steak, I love to let it sit for an hour or more in the refrigerator. We only left them for like 30 minutes, but it's rubbing it in there, rubbing the stuff, get making sure that seasoning gets in there. But it was real good. So
Yeah. Sometime is better than no time. Definitely
facts.
want to let it soak in.
Yeah. If you're anything like us three, I would say you know when you're gonna cook a steak. You know that it's gonna be later that day or the next day. Season your steak, let it sit out, you know, let it really absorb some of that seasoning that you put on there.
Yeah, it's like the. So did you ever cook those steaks that we bought from Kansas City?
I have not yet.
You haven't. So what I did, since we're on the top of the steaks, was I brined them in a dry brine of the Texas oil dust bullseye, and just let them sit for like 10-15 minutes, and then I seasoned them, um, and then put them back in the refrigerator, let them sit for another 30 minutes or so. Then I put them on the grill, and those come out juicy and delicious. So definitely, if you can, if you hadn't tried the bullseye from Texas Oil Dust, give it a try. It's mainly supposed to be like a wet marinade, but definitely try it as a dry marinade. You just literally season it and let it soak in, and I'm telling you, it was delicious. Um, Definitely highly recommend that. But definitely doing a reverse sear on the steaks is usually my go-to. Just kind of get some
Oh
type of
yeah,
smoke flavor in there.
Same.
Um,
same.
yeah,
Definitely, those steaks were good. I think I messed up on one. I messed up on one of them. I'm not gonna lie. Two of them were really good, and one
I'm
I
not
think
surprised.
one I over smoked it because I was trying to get the reverse
Yeah.
sear on the other ones.
Yeah.
So as I did that one, you could tell it was a little bit more smokier than the other one. But overall, they were really good. Eden ate her more than fair share of those steaks, so pretty good. Can't beat it.
Nope. Uh, what else before we start the topic of Christmas? You got nothing else?
I got nothing else that I can think of. That was a great question. If you do have questions, by all means, let us know. We will be more than happy to answer them during the next podcast.
Yep. Uh, so on the topic of Christmas, what is uh your family tradition for Christmas meal, Ed? Ours is pretty much simple. We just kind of throw stuff together. Think this year we're making same thing we did last year. We made
Pasole.
tamales and pozole. Um, I think that's it.
Yeah,
We
fun.
may cook something else. Depending on what everybody wants. Um, Probably have to cook a little bit something for Eden. Um,
Speaking of which, of tamales, are you leaving the house this Saturday when all the women come to cook tamales? I think our
oh
listeners want to know that. I ain't going. Anyways, yeah, what it that he basically said our tradition. It's
Yeah.
whatever we feel like doing. We've had
yeah,
sandwiches, we've had stuff. Chelsea's is traditional turkey, ham, the works as far as think traditional in there. I'm thinking Ed probably has, raisins in the potato salad.
You know, stop telling everybody my secrets.
the ham out of a can.
Ham from a can, chicken from a can,
Yeah,
the
whole chicken in a
cranberry
can.
the cranberry's got to have
No,
the little rivets from the can.
right? Yeah,
yeah,
for sure, dude. No, with us, we always do. Thanksgiving is our big one with our family, and then for Christmas, it's typically just Amanda and I. Um, but we always seem to do a prime rib. So uh, this year, probably going to do the same thing. If I'm being honest, we'll find a two or three rib roast, and I don't know. They usually go on pretty good sale.
Yeah.
$4 or $5 a pound. So
yeah.
we always do that. Done it for the past, I don't know, 10 years or so. That's kind of been ours. So that baked potato, I don't know, maybe some like custard or something for dessert. Nothing
Did
beyond
you
that
say
though.
He
custard?
he
I
did.
did.
You
Not
know he
ice.
was gonna go that way around.
Yeah,
Now for Ed, for the listeners listening here, Ed does he will always go, and I knew he was going off the wall because his wife does share a birthday with Jesus, so um, they do morning, Christmas, and then birthday. That so he has
No.
to he does all the cooking there, so to spoil his lady. So uh, but that's what he does, and that's
Let's
not
not.
bad. Prime rib is sounds really good.
I know I got a rotisserie that I did. a chicken on not that long ago. I'm kind of thinking that might be the way to go
Go
for
to. Yeah.
Christmas this year too. So rotisserie style prime rib. Let's see.
Yeah. And then you can sear it at the ends
Yep.
on a little ninja.
There you go. Right.
Yeah, it
Look at
is.
that, throwing out ideas.
Let's
Them
see.
ninjas,
Yeah.
the ninja he has is awesome. Uh,
Hey,
need to
I'm
get
telling you,
me one
anybody
of it.
who,
It's
if it's just,
awesome.
I was gonna say, if it's just you and a spouse or you alone, and you don't want to, deal with a whole setup of an offset or a drum or a Weber, Ninja Woodfire pellet grill is a great addition to your cooking equipment. I would highly
Oh yeah.
recommend it.
Definitely,
It
definitely
does
worth
cook some good
every.
stuff. I'll give you that.
It really
Uh,
does.
yeah. What else y'all want to talk about?
I got nothing else
Nothing.
other than, like I said, if you got questions you want to join the podcast, we'll come on for an episode, be a guest to join us. We can ask you some questions. By all means, hit us up. All the social media: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, or X. And we will definitely there. We love to answer these questions. Keep them coming and let us know, what are you doing? What's your family go to for Christmas? Yeah, ours is so weird. It really truly is
Hey, if
there.
it
And we
works
do
for your
ours
family.
Christmas Eve. So that's our one thing that we do for us. We do ours Christmas Eve. That way, like, we can do our Christmas in the morning, and then we go to wherever Chelsea's family is going to be that afternoon for there. And then, because it falls on a Wednesday, I'll be at work on Thursday. So
Same,
sad.
Yep.
So
unfortunately.
sad.
Yep.
So sad. But it
Yeah.
is what it is.
What you got,
Got to do
Wade, to
what you got to
close out?
do.
All right, everybody. As always, we'd love to see what you're cooking. We want to, tag us in your next cook on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, uh, Twitter, even hell. Uh, but anyway, grill on, my friends. We'll catch you next time in the smoke.
Yeah. And of course, as always, if you hadn't tried our products, give them a try. Try them once, try them twice. We always say, try everything twice because you never know. You may just end up liking that product. So definitely give our stuff a try at BigSlingsBarbecue.com. The links will be down below if you're on YouTube, or if you're listening, just click those links down below. Follow us on all the social media sites. As course, as I always say, you never know. You just may get hooked on that big taste, big flavor, big Salinas. Any closing comments, Junior?
That's it. Like I said, they said it best. I hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Welcome back. I will post the results of that cook there. I also have a little short mini brisket that we made. I'll throw down for the family as well. So I definitely will share that as I look to expand my repertoire of cooking on it. So if you have any ideas, hit us up for sure. And we will see you down the road.